Damn followers. I paused the last video, so I don't know what the hell happened. I'm sorry. So I started a video. I started talking some nonsense about being in Charlestown and tearing up Main Street, and I introduced myself. My name is John Hearn. That's the hopefully I have some new people watching my videos and want to know who I am. I apologize for the lack of a thumbnail, and I know that it's hurting the fact that it's not drawing people to my videos, because I know a good thumbnail catches people's eye and brings people to a video. But I tried. I actually downloaded a thumbnail maker, and I had no idea what I was doing. And the thumbnails that they did have to try to help, none was anywhere near the genre of stuff that I talk about. So I had to like start from scratch and try to make my own. I have to ask guys that make similar videos how the hell they do it, because you know what, I'm in the dark. Trust me, if I knew how to do it, I would. It's not for lack of trying. So hopefully there's some new followers. Like I said, my name is John Hearn. I'm born and raised. I'm a Boston kid from the Charlestown neighborhood of Boston. I'm just coming from visiting my mother and my stepfather, and I got things to talk about. Hopefully you've caught some of my other videos, so you kind of know something about me. I'm a recovering addict. I got about, I don't know, someone just texted me. I'm pushing about 5 years, clean and serene. But I've been out of, I was a serial offender and criminal. Habitual offender, habitual criminal, I would say. And that was basically all for, while using. But anger and being an angry person definitely is a part of my story. And if you listen to this, and hopefully you'll listen to other stories, they all talk about my anger and where it has brought me. It has brought me nothing but trouble. My life, just trouble. Getting kicked out of places, not being welcome. Ever since I was a kid, you know what I mean? Going to the Boys and Girls Club, getting kicked out of it, right? Then I was a Catholic school boy for 10 years. I went to Catholic school. The first confirmation classes, which us Catholics, we all make our confirmation, I got thrown out of just for being, class clown, being an idiot. Father Mahoney, I remember, if anyone remembers Father Mahoney, he threw me out of confirmation class. My stepfather, who was a firefighter, and Father Mahoney, who was big in the firefighters union, was the official chaplain with the Boston firefighters union. I was lucky to get back in by the skin of my teeth. I had to be here for the rest of the year. I was able to make confirmation with the rest of my class. Anyways, the point is getting in trouble, getting thrown out of places. High school, I got thrown out of my first high school went to Magna. I went to parochial Catholic school. I got thrown out of Magna. I originally was on suspension for, and probation there for breaking a kid's nose, laying a kid out for saying something to me that pissed me off. Not very. I blasted him, broke his nose, blood everywhere. I went to class like nothing happened. And suspended me for a week. I was put on probation. They let me come back. And not too long later, there was summer weed. Ounces of weed. My friend was getting down pounds. I was selling. Sorry, I gotta roll up my windows. Jesus. I got thrown out of my first high school. I was saying I got thrown out of confirmation. I got in the fight. I blasted the kid. It really wasn't much of a fight, and that was it. The kid was unable to fight back because his fucking nose was no longer part of his face. And I was put on probation for that, and then while selling weed in school, but really just maintaining my habit of smoking a lot of weed every day. I got caught with like an ounce of weed in school, a bunch of rolled up joints, and like a half ounce of bagged weed in a locker that I used to put aside. It wasn't my locker, but they caught me going back to the locker to go retrieve it. And somebody had seen me. Someone told me. Somebody that just didn't want me there, didn't like my kind, because I just kind of did whatever the fuck I wanted there, and I got thrown out. Then I ended up at Charlestown High. But while in and out of DYS, I went back to Charlestown High after I got out of DYS, and I picked up a civil rights case that I talked about in another video. And I got out when I was 18, but that was a big deal. I was out on bail for a little bit while I was there, and they weren't going to let me come back because of the racial implications and the fact that it was a mostly minority high school. But I'll tell you right now, but the only reason it was a civil rights case, it was because where it took place and the time it took place. The beef had nothing to do with race. They jumped a friend of mine, one of my best friend's sisters, and we went and got revenge for it. And then they cried fucking racism. It had nothing to do with race, and charged us with a fucking hate crime. And I remember, like the next week I forget what class he was, Mr. Barnett, and he had a bunch of newspapers. He kept the newspapers, and we had to pick a thing out of the newspaper, from one of the newspapers, and do a thing on it. And I picked up, the first newspaper I picked was the case. The case made front page, was all over the news. They made a big deal out of it. And I'm like, I'm gonna do something on this, and he was very aware of it, because he grabbed me the first day I came back. And Mr. Barnett was a really good guy. Guys loved, the Charlestown kids loved Mr. Barnett, because he was just cool. And he's like, what's up with this, John? What the fuck, man? You ain't racist, are you? I'm like, come on, man. Well, this shit had nothing to do with race. You know where you are. You know that anything that happens in this town is made into racial shit. And that's what's so fucking crazy, right? Is the shit that goes on now in the media, is they were doing it back then. They were doing it back then in the 90s. This was in 96, 97. They were making shit about race and painting white people as racist. with shit that had nothing to do with race and making Charlestown look like racist so they can overpopulate it with minorities because it was an all-white neighborhood, and they didn't like that. Same with Southie. They did the same thing with Southie. But so they allowed me back there when I got out of DYS when I was 18. A while later, however long it was, fucking a year later, I think. Because I had to go. I went back to DYS for a year after that, and I'm walking to Charleston High. I got a couple bags of dust, right, by myself. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to. I remember the night before. I'm going to school tomorrow. I'll save these for tomorrow. I'll fucking get whacked out right before school tomorrow. So I'm walking to school. I'm gonna go to the bleachers because they had the high school field right there. I was gonna go to the bleachers, roll this dust, and smoke these 2 bags. And I'm walking by the ramp that goes up to Charlestown High, and I see Brian McCrary, queer, I love you, buddy, and Maki Matarazzo fighting with these black kids. And motherfuckers. There they go, fucking ruining my plans. I gotta help them. I gotta jump in. So as I'm running to go assist these gentlemen, the school cops are coming and it's already getting broken up as I make it up the ramp. So it's getting broken up already. So there's really nothing I could do as far as just go run up there to see what's up, see what happened. So as I'm getting there, right, this fucking kid that was involved, right, one of the black kids, picks up a fucking brick, and smashes me with it. Hits me with the fucking brick, right? Me, who wasn't even involved in the fight, was just running up, which I would have been, but I didn't get time to jump in and help my guys, because it didn't matter what it was over. Though it was the 2 kids from Charlestown and queer. It was one of my best friends. He fucking smashes me with the brick, and I didn't feel it. I don't know if it was adrenaline or what it was, but I remember I did not feel it. All it did was make me angry. It was like the fucking Hulk. All he did was piss me off. And I just turned into a fucking animal. And I remember going at the kid and fighting him. And I really don't remember what happened with the fight. I'm pretty sure I did my thing. Queer would remember. Because I definitely fucking went after him after he bricked me. But that got broken up. But my shirt came off in the fight. I remember it was towards the end of the year. It was nice weather. I only had a t-shirt on. Because this is what was fucking popping at the time. Remember the Adidas fucking swishy pants? I had some Adidas swishy pants on and a t-shirt. So my t-shirt comes on, and I got my knife clipped inside my swishy pants, where you can only see the clip. So now these motherfuckers, right? I just got hit with the brick. There's blood all over me, right? Now they know me, right? The school police know me very well because I'm always in and out, skipping school. I have my hat on. Wendy, she's always trying to take my hat. The first and only thing they see is the fucking knife, which I did not pull. I didn't pull it. It's just there. I have it at all times. No matter where I go, I have a fucking knife. And I get thrown out of school for the knife, which I didn't even go into school yet. I didn't even make it into school yet. You don't even know if I was bringing it in. You just brought me into school to fucking, so I could sit there for my mother to come to bring me to the hospital to fucking get stitches from my head, which is what happened. I had to go in there. They had to fucking bitch at my mother about me having a knife on school grounds, And you think this kid got thrown out? No. This kid fucking smashed me with a brick on school property. But the white kid got thrown out, and he didn't, right? Because I attacked him afterwards, and I had a knife on me that I did not use. So, I got thrown out of my second high school for carrying a knife that I didn't use after I got hit with a brick. So, Queer remembers this. I ended up going back to the high school and smoking that bag of dust by myself. I gotta end right here because my wife is calling.